Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vikas Nitra. So in today's lecture, we are going to see what is meant by the elementary signals and the different types of elementary signals. So basically there are two types of elementary signals. One is a continuous time elementary signal and the second type is discrete time elementary signal. So in today's lecture, we're going to see what is meant by the continuous time elementary signal. So in that I have written the first type, that is nothing but unit step elementary signal. Yeah, unit step function basically. So basically this is a unit step function. This is a signal for unit step, that this is a 0, there is a time, and that unit step function is defined by the some function that is nothing but u of t. Unit step function is nothing but u of t. So this is the symbol for the unit step function. So this is a condition. What is the condition? That u of t is equal to 1 for t is greater than equal to 0. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning is that whatever the unit step function is there, for that the amplitude is always equal to 1 for t greater than equal to 0. Means for 0 having a amplitude 1, again for each and every time period the amplitude become 1. So that is the condition for the unit step function. And for t less than 0, means for all these values the amplitude become 0. Okay, so this is a function of unit step function. Okay, now the second one, the unit ramp function. Now what is meant by the unit ramp function? That r of t is a symbol of a representation of a unit ramp function. So how we define that? So we define that r of t is equal to t. What is the meaning of this? So basically this function this equation defines that whatever the time is there, the same amplitude will be there. Means what? For each and every time, the same amplitude will be there. Suppose if the time is t is equal to 0, then your amplitude is 0. If your amplitude is 1, sorry, time is 1, t is equal to 1, then your amplitude is also 1. Means for each and every time, we are having the same amplitude. So r of t is equal to t is nothing but whatever the time is there, for that time your amplitude becomes same. Means that t is equal to 2, then you will get 2. If the time is 2.5, then you will get amplitude 2.5, like this up to whatever the highest infinity. But for t less than 0, for all time the amplitude become 0. We don't have any amplitude for t less than 0. So this type of function is called as a unit ramp function. Okay, so now next, now third function, unit impulse function. So what is meant by the unit impulse function? So unit impulse functions defined by the del of t equal to 1 for t is equal to 0 and del of t is equal to 0 elsewhere. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning is this is t, we are having 0 time and this is a impulse function. So for a 0 time we are having a 1 amplitude, and for all other time the amplitude become 0. So this type of signal is called as a unit impulse function. Okay, basically theoretically we define t is equal to 0 as a 1 amplitude, but if you see in any book you will get this type of signal. Means what? whatever the amplitude is 1, here they have taken a arrow. What is the reason behind this arrow? So theoretically we write this, but practically this value is not 1. This value is more than 1 practically. But it's not possible to represent any infinity value. So that's why they have taken for the representation, because the name is unit. So that's why they have defined that their whatever the amplitude is there for 0 having a 1 for the unit impulse function. Okay, so this is all about the unit step function, unit ramp function, unit impulse function. Okay, then next one that we are going to see, 4.1, unit exponential function. In unit exponential function having a two subtype, one is a growing exponential and the second one decaying exponential. Okay, now what is meant by the growing exponential? The growing exponential is nothing but, so if this is a symbol or representation of growing exponential, x of t equal to e raised to at for t greater than equal to 0 and 0 for t less than 0. So how we can define this? So if I put on x-axis having a t and y-axis is nothing but x of t, so how you can calculate the amplitude? Suppose if I put t is equal to 0, you will get 1. If I put t is equal to 1, okay, here basically a is a constant value, so you can initially take as a constant that a is a constant. Suppose if I take a is equal to 1, so for okay e raised to 0, what is the value? 1. If I take 1, okay, so in that case you will get like this. If I put 2, again like this, so this signal will go like this. Okay, means that signal is growing exponentially, so that's why it's called as a growing exponential. Second one, decaying. In decaying you can write x of t is equal to e raised to minus t for t greater than equal to 0 and 0 for t less than 0. So if I put the values, so you will get, suppose if I put 0, suppose you will get highest value 1. If I put t is equal to 1, so e raised to minus 1, so you will get a less value. And finally if I put t is equal to infinity, so e raised to infinity is what? E raised to minus infinity, how much? E raised to minus infinity, so it will get 0 value. When we put e raised to infinity, then you will get a 0 value. Means basically you are taking that this is a decaying exponential. So for only t is equal to 0, you will get a maximum value. After that, that values of the your that particular function, means the amplitude goes on decreasing. Suppose if I put infinity, so you will get e raised to minus infinity. So for this decaying exponential, you will get a 0 value when you are having the time is equal to infinity, any maximum value. So that if you compare, this signal goes on decreasing. So that's why it's called as a decaying exponential function. So these are the different signals are there, elementary signals. So first we have taken a unit step function, then we have taken a ramp function, then unit impulse function, then we have taken a growing exponential, and then we have taken a decaying exponential. So I hope now you understand the continuous elementary signals. In the next video, we're going to see a discrete elementary signals in detail. So if you think that these videos are helpful for you, then please subscribe my YouTube channel, share these videos, and if you have any doubt, then you can comment on the videos. So I will try to give the proper answer for that. So thank you everyone.